I'm Corbett Wall with DVAuction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, June 17th, brought to you in part by VITALIX. Not all tubs are created equal. Stretch your profits with every lick. It's got the protein and energy you need. VITALIX wants feeder flash gang members to have a chance to win free tubs. If you're watching this on the NationalBeefWire, click on the VITALIX ad that's right next to this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, go down in the description and click on VITALIX for information on how you can win free VITALIX tubs. Get the blue tub. Your cows will love you. For more information, go to VITALIX.com. Also, Beaver County Stockyards in Beaver, Oklahoma. Another big sale for them, 4,000 head here on Tuesday for the regular feeder cattle auction. They're going to be starting early. It's going to get hot. They're starting at 7 a.m. They're going to have 700 to 800 calves. Most of them will weigh 400 to 600 pounds, about half of them weaned. They'll have 900 to 1,000 head of yearling heifers. They've got 2 stick-out replacement quality heifer deals. 160 head black-white face weighing 8 to 8.5, and another 212 weighing 8 to 900 pounds. Big, stout, fancy replacement quality heifers if you're interested in something like that. 15 to 1,600 yearling steers. They've got 186 home raised 900 weight yearling steers and 180 head off the Buckingham deal. Well, they'll weigh in the 8s. They've got some grazing type yearlings, 7 to 8 weights, a little bit lighter there. A couple of hundred of them be just right to turn out on grass this summer. Won't be quite as fancy in quality as some of those steers I was telling you about earlier, but where do you find yearling grazers this time of year, guys? They'll have over 400 cows, 25 first calf heifer pairs, big calves on them. Most of those will be bred back, and they've got a few older bred cows, but they've got a lot of big packer cows. Somebody's looking for those. But don't forget about Beaver County Stockyards here on Tuesday, starting early. You can find them on DVAuction.com. The board rebounded quite a bit on Monday. It was nice to see from Friday's big sell-off, and a lot of people had thought that it had to do with Trump's statement about illegal farm workers. It could have also been grain being down big time after being up on Friday, but Trump did make a statement about illegal farm workers. He was also talking about workers that work in hotels and things like that, but saying that he's not out to get those. He wants the criminal types, so he may back off on some of the ICE raids on farm type use, especially for those illegal workers, and not all of them are illegal, but some of them are, that have been working with their employers for over 20 years, and he doesn't want to break up that relationship. So he knows what's going on. He was talking about that, and the board responded well to it. Ag Commodities responded well to it. Then later on in the day, they had some interviews with some of his cabinet, some of his workers in the Capitol, and they kind of dialed that back some. But Trump had a few things on his mind. He was over at the G7 summit in Canada, and kind of monitoring the Israeli-Iran war there. And that is early here today on Tuesday. That is really creeping up and could become a big, maybe a big blast. They may turn Iran into a parking lot. But we're anxious to see if there's going to be bigger bombs included in that. But I tell you what, trying to get Iran to quit wanting to have a nuclear weapon has been a big problem there, and they may have enough nuclear that it's something that's going to cause a big blast, and it's scary for all of us in the world when you're talking about that. Caused oil to go up big on Monday, if you didn't see that. But there's just kind of mixed signals coming out of that illegal worker talk. I mean, Trump had a lot on his mind. That wasn't the main thing he was thinking about, and you know, his underlings were thinking about his directive there. But I think we're going to get some sensibility on that. But you know, we've slashed the kill, and you know, beef production just you know, it's just been a couple quarters here, but beef production year to date is down 2.9%. And slaughter year to date is down 6.2% compared to a year ago. Last week, your slaughter for last week was down 9.3% compared to a year ago. I mean, these packers, they have just all but quit slaughtering cattle. But I tell you what, the feedlots are still current. And I mean, there could have been something off on the cattle on feed, because the cattle on feed, they're not overwhelming, and we've had very little kill there. But it is finally starting to bring this dressed beef, box beef cutout value, the value of them up a little bit. And you know, that's what we want. We're going to see that. Yes, it may draw some people away from eating beef if they're a little tight on money, but we've got to get those prices up so those packers can live, so they can keep paying these big prices for cattle. But I tell you what, it's been kind of a standoff between that. Let's talk about your punchy pick of the month. That comes up pretty regular, guys. And of course, your Kids Corral is sponsored by Great Plains Livestock Consulting, and the punchy pick of the month by Beaver County Stockyards and Fairpiece, that revolutionary product that is scientifically proven. So you get a pick, you think it's pretty cool, send it to us, email it to us at punchy@nationalbeefwire.com. Let's talk about your board to start off the week on Monday. June live cattle up 192 at 227.02. August was up 310 at 215.55, and your back months were all up 217 to 297. August feeder cattle 310.55, that was up 380. September was up 397 at 309.57, and your back months were up 2.5 to 402. Your grains, corn was down 9 3/4 cents a bushel for July at 434 3/4. Soybeans were unchanged from 1069 3/4. Hard red winter wheat for July down 4 3/4 cents at 536. Your weighted average on last week's meager negotiated trade out of your 5-area feeding region totaled up 45,207, but your market was lower, and you always sell fewer cattle on a lower market compared to 63,100 the week before and 80,900 the same week a year ago. Normally our trade and our slaughter is big during the month of June. This is the opposite, so something's going to give big here. But your weighted average in your 5-area feeding region, live steers and heifers selling from 232 to 244. Your weighted average on live steers 238.68, up 206. Another new record high, 238.68. It was all because the Southern Plains traded higher. They closed the gap. Northern Plains was actually weak, as you see on the dress trade, 370 to 383, but that was $3 to $5 lower. Your weighted average on dress steers 380.06, down 28 cents. But as a whole, your Southern Plains market was $3 to $10 higher at mostly 235, but ranging from 233 to 238. Northern Plains steady to 2 lower, 240 to 242, and dress trade steady at 380. Nationwide, we sold 51,900 head negotiated. 78,800 the previous week, and 95,700 the same week a year ago. Of that 51,900, about 12,900 or 25% were bought for the 2 to 4 week delivery. Negotiated grid trade totaled 45,200. 45 forward contracts, only 9,600. And formula sales, sweetheart deals, was light this last week at 206,200. Of the 4 out of 5 regions that we get information from, negotiated Iowa sold 14,000 negotiated. Nebraska sold 18,300, both light there. Kansas 8750, which is about what they typically move, and Texas sold 4,200 negotiated sales. Box beef cutout values up again, up big on Monday, and like I was talking earlier, slashing these kills. They were thinking that they're going to buy cattle cheaper, but they're just selling dressed beef higher. Choice cuts 382.11, up 423 on Monday. Selects up 397 at 367.47. Your slaughter to start the week out, only 103,000 head. That's your estimated slaughter for Monday. It's 9,000 less than last week, 13,000 less than the same week a year ago. Talk about what else is going on. Cattlemen's Insurance Agency, they're specializing in LRP and PRF, especially for you mid-Atlantic guys out east, because cattle markets can be a gamble. You need somebody that knows what they're doing. It is Brandon Reeves heading this up, and he's with the Virginia Cattlemen's Association. And get a hold of him or his team there, and they can fix you up. If you have questions, just give them a call and hit them with the questions. But get a hold of them at insurance@vacattleman.org. Talk about your feeder cattle market, brought to you by Specialty Risk Insurance, working to protect your livelihood. Your real-time index ended the day on Monday, and after all your sale barns are closed, sitting at 311.12, down 360. And your latest CME cash feeder cattle index at 313.89. Your big sales on Monday, of course, Oklahoma City at the Oklahoma National Stockyards, 5,200 head. Feeders were mostly steady after being called lower in your earlier sessions. Mostly steady. They did have plainer cattle there, and they were discounted for being plainer. So you might see some quotes there that are lower than last week. Calves were $2 to $5 lower. Had a lot of unweaned calves in the offering, some of those fleshy, and didn't find many friends with the hot, sultry weather that we're seeing. Joplin Regional Stockyards had 8,700 head. They underestimated by like 1,500 head. Whoa, who does that? Steers and heifers selling uneven, and from $5 lower to $5 higher. There was pressure on your Monday feeder cattle auctions. I thought there would be, but coming back as those big sales, they were lower early in the morning, and then as your buyers saw the board reacting favorably to what was going on Monday, they came back up and just about steady. But I tell you what, they're going to have that big wean vac special at Joplin Regional Stockyards. That's coming up this Thursday. Now don't miss that. That will be a humdinger, guys. They'll have bigger, more reputation consignments. Should be a really good sale starting at 9 o'clock in the morning at DVAuction.com. Sioux Falls Regional Livestock Market in Worthing, South Dakota had their barbecue special on Monday. 6,600 head. Compared to 2 weeks ago, those feeders were $7 to $10 higher. It was your Superior Steel Sales, Superior Standard Livestock Handling Equipment stick-out sale of the day. Look at your best tested weights there, and they were on some heavier cattle, but 182 head of 6-weight steers in Worthing, South Dakota, averaged 659 at 363.43. 184 head of 7 weights averaged 740 at 332.54. There were 749 head of the 8 weight steers. They averaged 858 at 306.01. 1,087 head of 9 weight steers averaged 943 at 291.37. And not on this market report, but they had one draft, 287 head of 1,049 pound steers bring 290.75. Look at the heifers, 165 head of 5 weight heifers average 565 at 346.28. 331 head of 6 weight heifers average 656 at 317.65. 717 head of 7 weight heifers average 753 at 297.78. And there were 673 head of 8 weight heifers at Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota, that averaged 856 with a weighted average price on all of them at 279 smooth. Give you some stick out sales from all around that were impressive on Monday. West Point Livestock Auction in West Point, Nebraska. The Shabins there. Look at they had a heifers, and feeder heifers, 63 head, weighed 842 at 297. We thought that was going to be the extreme top for steers just a couple of weeks ago, guys. Now we're getting heifers selling for that to feed. At Joplin Regional Stockyards, they had 77 head of 566 pound steers bring 405, weighing that deep in the fives, guys. That's pretty good. How about Callaway Livestock in Kingdom City, Missouri? They sold 54 steers, weighed 929 at 307.75. But the most impressive quote I saw on Monday in your Macrocin, no BS, top quote for the day, indeed come out of Sioux Falls Regional Livestock in Worthing, South Dakota. It was 82 steers, weighed 801 at 336, the highest quote I've ever given on 8 weight steers. Another new record high, guys. And that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.
Stress in your beef herd, dairy, or swine leads to weight loss, disease, and mortality, costing you peace of mind and profit. Stressful events such as transport, weaning, calving, and handling activate survival instincts in cattle, often leading to reduced dry matter intake, suppressed immunity, and increased risk of disease and mortality. FERA offers FeraPeas, a proven solution with over 20 million doses sold. FeraPeas, a synthetic analog of the maternal appeasing substance, naturally calms animals, helping to restore normal feeding behavior, promote hydration, and support immune function, ultimately improving health and performance. Trusted by producers and validated through multiple independent university trials, FeraPeas has been shown to reduce disease incidence and mortality, ensuring greater animal welfare and improved profitability for cattle and swine operations. FeraPeas, address the stress, backed by science.